Well, here we are. I am working on starting to put things back together, and as you can see, I have polished the backing plate for the points and condenser. It's also keeps that stuff dry. I don't know what else you'd call it. And you saw the testing of our coil. As far as we can tell, it is working the way it's supposed to, or at least it has the right resistance and so forth. So now we're installing our electronic ignition module, and I took the points and condenser unit off, and the screws that held them in place were not long enough, so I was able to find an Allen wrench, Allen bolt I mean, and we're using this to bolt it in the right place like that. So one, according to the directions that come with this, this side of the terminal here gets grounded. Let me zoom you in a little bit closer so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so you can see that I have put this terminal on here, and it is bolted down using the Allen bolt that will hold the electronic ignition module in place, and it is grounded all in the same place. Now, the other wire that needs to be connected here is this one. And now I got you too close. This one here that comes off of the coil, which would essentially fire this. And so that one, I have to cut the end of this wire, and it's not quite long enough the way it is. If I take this out of here like that, I probably can get just enough. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to cut this end off of here, cut this end right here, and I'm going to put a spade end on it, a female spade end, and then we'll plug that in, and that should be all I need to do for our electronic ignition. So now what normally happens is I wanted a smaller connector like this one right here. This is a female, yeah, but I didn't have one in the smaller gauge. Naturally, smaller gauge would have the red thing on there, but we'll see what we can do here. I probably should have you on the other side. Okay, so now maybe you can see better. So what I've got to do now is I'm going to strip this wire. I use my handy dandy automatic wire stripper. I need to strip it a little bit further back than that. And if you tell my hands to stop shaking, we'd be doing a whole lot better, both of us. Okay, I think that'll work. Now, put that connector in there, like that. And we'll take our crimping pliers, and we'll crimp that puppy right down. And hopefully we've got just enough wire to slide that on there. Now there we go. Now it's on there nice and tight, and that won't come off of there. So our electronic ignition, I think I need to loosen that up and swing this over a little bit. I think I might put a wire tie right in there, just to hold that just like that so this doesn't spring up. It's too bad this wasn't long enough to go back in there. I'll put another wire tie in there too. How's that? We'll get two birds with one stone, or one bird with two stones. So what color do you want? We could have red or blue, or we could have yellow, or we could have white, or we could have orange, or green, or black. See what comes out of the bottle here. So I think we'll put a red one right here. Just like that. Just to hold those two from swinging around. And then we're going to put another one right here. Where this wire was originally. There we go. That'll keep those wires all in place. So there we have it, electronic ignition installed. And as I showed you, we polished this all up. And I cleaned up my spark plug wire. And I even polished the end. Let me see if I can get this to focus. I even polished the end of the spark plug wire. Red-bellied woodpecker. How cool is that? Towhee. Another towhee. One's a male, one's a female. The brown one is a female, the black one is a male. And if you watch patiently, you'll see a cardinal drop down in just at the top of your screen, waiting his turn. There's one. There's another one up above him still. And there's another one there. Oh yeah, all kinds of wildlife. We had a doe out here right about in this area this morning. Watched for about 15 minutes until she decided to trot off into the bush. That's why you'll see in the bottom corner there, I put out corn and I moved my salt lick over there. We've seen deer in that particular area several times. So I figured I'd move everything, make it convenient for them. Gotta love it.